could be anything. Took a chance and chased a dream, but never realized just how lonely things would be. Now I'm crying on the bathroom floor like spilled milk, with a messy story, just moments till I self-destruct with no one here to clean me up. Would someone just show me some love and tell me that I am good enough? I'm bored out, comments fill me up, still tossed away like a plastic cube. And here I'm trying once again, like litter trapped inside the wind, still believing I can get a hold of things. Every effort leads to new mistakes, and I crawl back to the same old place. I need someone who can lend a hand and pull me from this garbage can. Would someone just show me some love and tell me that I am good enough? I'm bored out, comments fill me up, still I'm tossed away like a plastic cup. Would someone just show me some love and tell me that I am good enough? I'm bored out, comments fill me up, still I'm tossed away like a plastic cup. And still I'm tossed away like a plastic cup. It's for you, emotions. There's something inside of me, and I know it's more than just a brain. Would someone just show me some love and tell me that I am good enough? I'm bored out, comments fill me up, still I'm tossed away like a plastic cup. I know you feel like a piece of trash, thrown away and forgotten, but please don't let go, 'cause to me, you're treasure. Your smile so deceptive that it almost looks real. Well, it must be hard to fake what you do not really feel. You're hiding, I know it. Tell me what's on your mind. I only wish to help. Won't you let me back inside? Say that it's over. Tell me the truth just one last time. I promise I'll help you. If only you'll let me back inside. Let me inside. Your face shows no reaction when I call out your name. Your presence like a ghost. You seem so far away, and you know that I love you, but the words seem to have died. I just want this to close your eyes. Just look at me when I look at you, because you must realize you're barely holding on, and I'm holding tight. Would you just please try? Don't give in, you have to fight. Why won't you hear my cry? I don't wanna say goodbye. Say that it's over. Tell me the truth just one last time. I promise I'll help you. If only you'll let me back inside. Say that it's over. Tell me the truth just one last time. I promise I'll help you. If only you'll let me back inside. Say that it's over. And I don't wanna hear another lie. I just wanna help you. Please won't you let me back inside? Staring at my own reflection through shattered bits of glass, showing me the perfect picture of who I really am. But when you look at me, you never turn away. Kneeling next to me and picking up the pieces. Why do you care? I know I'm undeserving of the love that you have chosen to share. It's just not fair. I am such a useless failure, fallen to the ground. Every effort that I muster is never good enough. But when you look at me, standing next to me and holding out your hand, why do you care? I know I'm undeserving of the love that you have chosen to share. It's just not fair. If I take just one moment away from my self-loathing, then maybe I would notice that I'm not meant to be broken. If I take just one moment away from my self-loathing, then
Well, good evening, folks, or good morning, good afternoon, good night, whatever time it is, wherever you are in the world. Quincy Kane here, and happy Halloween. And darn it, how did I do this? I think I put my headphones on after my guitar strap. 1 second. There we go. Happy Halloween, everybody. For anyone just tuning in, don't be shy. Say hello. We're just getting the party started. And for this stream, I am letting you, the viewers, choose which song of mine you'd like me to play. So I've got all my songs in the description here on YouTube. And whichever song of mine you'd like to hear, let your request be made known, and I will play that song just for you. But let's get caught up with the chat here. Let's see. Catching up. Yep, Becky and Jack, we were just chatting a little bit. Let's see here. Yeah, I saw, hopefully Daniel's having a good time. Becky was saying that the weather in the UK hasn't been that great, and so concerned about Daniel's trip in Scotland. I'm hopeful that, I'm pretty optimistic that Daniel can make the best of his circumstances, and so I'm sure that even if there is a little bit of weather, he can still have a good time. Of course, it is a shame going that far and wanting to have a good experience. But hopefully there's a few days where the weather's good for him. And I hope he's having a great trip. Certainly can't wait to hear about it when he gets back. And that's right. Yep. Ash Ketchum. Yeah, that's correct. Yep. Shocked Pikachu face. Yeah, if only there was an emoji for that. Got to catch them all. Exactly. Those fingerless gloves make it harder to play guitar. Yes, I was going to comment on that. If my guitar playing sounds sloppy today, it's because of these. It feels so weird playing. That first song wasn't too bad, but I was kind of getting, like before the stream, I was getting warmed up, and I was like, man, this feels so weird. So, you know, depending on the songs, I might have to ditch them, but I think if I can play like that technical metal song, I think the rest I'll be okay. But yeah, it feels weird playing with fingerless gloves on guitar. Let's see here. Catching up. And thank you for the applause. Much appreciated. Yeah, let me ask you guys. So, you know, Pokemon was like my childhood show. You know, there were definitely other shows I liked. Probably second runner-up. Well, I don't want to say runner-up because I love the show for different reasons. But, you know, Batman, the animated series, that meant a lot to me as a kid. But Pokemon kind of like defined like my generation growing up, you know. I loved Ash. I loved the whole Pokemon vibe, just the sense of adventure, going out and collecting all the different Pokemon and then getting to trade them and battle them and train them and all that stuff. And so, you know, I loved Pokemon. So, yep, so Ash was a favorite character of mine. Cool. And so I'm curious to ask you guys, you know, what would you say was your defining childhood show? If there was a certain show or movie or something, maybe it had a character that just sort of resonated with you and kind of like, yeah, that was the one character I wanted to be, or that was the one show that I just, you know, I had to see every episode every time it came on. And, you know, I had all the toys, or I had T-shirts and, you know, whatever it was, I had stuff that was related to it. Let me know. But anyway, yes, it is Halloween. I wasn't originally planning. I mean, either way, I might have done a Halloween theme if we did yesterday's stream. Yesterday, normally these streams are on Thursdays, as y'all know, but I had it moved to today because I kind of had a fun week. I had an eventful week I'll have to tell you guys about. Yeah, X-Men. Yeah, you know, I still need to watch kind of the animated series. I only saw bits of it, but I was definitely aware of like X-Men, the animated series. I watched a bit of the Spider-Man series as well coming up. So the cat's hiding because lots of fireworks are going off. Well, maybe they're just celebrating Halloween. So sounds like there's something else. Yeah, I'm seeing references to Guy Fawkes, I think that's his name, and V for Vendetta. So I don't know if it's fireworks for some kind of independence or liberty kind of thing. Goosebumps, Are You Afraid of the Dark, Erie, Indiana. That's all good stuff. Yeah, I loved Goosebumps. You know, I haven't been able to watch too many scary movies and stuff, but usually around this time, I'll always watch the Haunted Mask episode, 2-part episode of Goosebumps. That's like such a good, just fun Goosebumps episode, and there's a few episodes that are worth going back and watching. So Goosebumps was the best. I remember the library, you know, the old library I went to, and there was this corner in the library, and the fluorescent light, it was just kind of dim back there. It kind of had like a creepy vibe, but like when I say creepy, I mean, to me, it's like intriguing, like to me, because I like that kind of adventure. I like those areas where it's like, this doesn't look like the normal. This looks like something fun to explore. And so there was this kind of creepy corner in the library, and that's where the Goosebumps books were. And I remember pulling them out and then just kind of rubbing my fingers along the title, and because they were all bumpy and stuff. Good stuff. Good picks right there. Well, awesome. Well, hey, if any of you guys have a song that you'd like to hear, again, my songs are in the description on YouTube. You can pick whichever song you'd like, and I'll play it just for you. I had a pretty fun week this week. Did see The Conjuring. The Devil Made Me Do It. Hey, Silas. Good to see you, man. How's it going? Happy Halloween. Are you dressing up today? Or have you been able to dress up for anything? Had any Halloween events? Any plans for today? Let me know if you're dressing up as anything. But I hope you're doing well. Saw The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. What's the verdict? Yay, nay, okay? I think I hadn't really kept up with the Conjuring series. I might have watched the first one, but to be honest, I can't quite remember them too much. I think for people who like the movies, I think they've been pretty pleased with them, but I don't know. You'll have to let me know what you think. I did go see Shelby Oaks last week. I was telling y'all about that. Chris Stuckman, the YouTube reviewer, he had his feature film debut, which is actually really awesome. Like, it's quite an accomplishment to go from YouTube and have enough of an audience to be able to raise funding and go through that whole process. Like, getting a movie made is definitely not just a movie made, but a movie made and released theatrically. That's a big accomplishment. So that alone is really good. I did go and see it, and I kind of agree with what a lot of the other reviewers said. I think it was mostly the story. For me, especially when it comes to scary movies, like, the characters matter so much. And that was probably the only thing that was kind of missing from it. Sometimes horror movies have a tendency to make the main characters victims, as in you understand, like, the movie tells you why you should feel sorry for this person or what their challenge is, what their struggle is. But they don't always do a good job making you feel for them. Like, they're a victim, but they don't really give you a reason to feel what they feel and to care about their story. And that's really the main thing. Like, any story for any movie, if you don't care about the character, you're not going to care about the character's story. You're not going to care about what they're going through or what they're trying to accomplish. You have to care about the character. At least for me, it's a definite. So that was the only real shortcoming. The performances were good. The movie was shot well, like, looked very good. There's a lot of stuff done, but probably the biggest thing that was lacking was just taking time to really set up the characters and getting you to care about them and care about what they're trying to accomplish, so that as they're going through, it works out. And, there's other things I could get into, but the main point is I mainly went to see it, one, just to support Chris, and two, just to support that, this is more than just one person. This is kind of like potentially a future for filmmaking. This is a chance for more up and coming, like, people maybe transitioning from YouTube to the big screen, like, not just having Hollywood hold all the power, but having, independent creators who actually are trying to tell original stories and trying to come up with new concepts and not just rehashing what's been done before. Like, that's, I support that. I support that being made. And so that was the main reason I went, just to kind of support him and to support that kind of, hopefully that movement for the filmmaking industry. But yep. Let's see here. That's right. Becky saying, oh, yeah, I was going to pick Guilty. Haven't heard the full band version yet. Well, that'll be coming up for you in just a bit here, Becky. We'll play Guilty, the full band version. Happy Halloween, Reformation Day. Got to be honest, I don't know what Reformation Day is. If today is Reformation Day as well. Yep. I don't know how. There's a lot of holidays that I feel like it's like, hey, today's that day, but it's not like, it's not like a festive holiday where people dress up for it or actually celebrate it. So I don't know if Reformation Day, if people have like a special meal for that or anything, or do anything festive for that. Not as good as the first, but was good. Cool. So sounds like The Conjuring. It's a trilogy, right? There's been at least 3 of them, and so it sounds like it's been pretty consistent. Yeah, any good candy? We'll definitely talk about Halloween candy in a bit here. And Jack is requesting a mirror that was broken. Great. That'll be coming your way in just a bit here. Haven't gone anywhere yet, but me and my family are going to a friend's house. Awesome. That should be fun. Well, if you do go out and about, I hope it's good. And yeah, I don't know if you answered already. I didn't see. If you're going out, are you dressing up as anything? You'll have to let me know what you're dressing up as. instead of watching horror movies, I've only been binge watching Supernatural every night. Probably, I mean, that's still in the category. I'd say anything, supernatural, horror, spooky, creepy, adventure-esque, anything that's kind of related. It doesn't necessarily have to be a scary movie. Hey, Fab. Hope you're doing well. It's been a while. Chocolate for a song? Unfortunately, I didn't bring it. Yeah, I didn't bring any chocolate with me, so... But if you'd like to request a song, I'll definitely play them for you. I'm about to hop into another one here. But Fab, let me know how you've been doing. Are you dressed up as anything for today? Happy Halloween. And you'll have to let me know if you have any plans for the day. Let's see here. Becky requested Guilty. This is an old song. Again, I don't even really consider this, this is kind of like a throwback, not really an officially released song. But this is one I did like over 10 years ago. So this is an old one. I sometimes pull it out, and I did an acoustic version, and Becky kind of liked it, but hadn't heard the full band version, and I do have a backing track. So let me find it. There it is. All right. So this was requested by Becky. This is an old one. This one's called Guilty. Let me grab the guitar. All right. This one's called Guilty. Becky, this one goes out to you. I know it's over. You and I have reached our end, but all the memories remain. And I've tried to find her, someone else to hold on to, but I can't show affection, 'cause I still feel bound to you. Am I guilty? Am I guilty? Am I guilty? Am I guilty? Yeah, yeah. Is it so wrong to want something for myself, but to speak my mind only drenches me with guilt? Go! Just leave. Stay Audio. Again, that was a blast from the past. That one was requested by Becky. Becky, thank you for your request. I hope you enjoyed the song. For anyone else just tuning in, happy Halloween. And hopefully my mic didn't dip out on me. Maybe just a little bit. Yep. Hopefully I got through most of the song. But for anyone just tuning in, happy Halloween. And I am letting you all choose my set list for this stream, choosing original songs of mine. You can find them in the description on YouTube. Just played Guilty, but everything else is pretty much up for grabs. Sorry, getting stuff out of my eye. Where was I going with that? Yeah, so whatever song you want, you can find it in the description. We've got a request for a mirror that was broken. That'll be coming up soon, so got you in a moment here, Jack. Let me catch you up with the chat here. And hopefully, let me know if y'all can see me okay back there, because I've actually got one more light that I forgot to cut on. And if you guys can see me fine, then I'll just leave it that way. But just because from what I can see, everything looks fine. It probably looks good on the close-up, but I'm worried I might be a little dark when I head back to play. And if that's the case, I'll get that extra light turned on. Let's see here. Oh, yep, yep. Okay, so now my age is starting to show. Never thought I'd say that. You know, there was a time when Pokemon was new, and it's still around. You know, there's still Pokemon. But, man, if you don't recognize this outfit, that is the sign that Pokemon is getting old now. Because, yeah, Silas is asking, is Quincy dressed up as someone specific? So, you obviously don't know the legend that is Ash Ketchum. I'll explain in a moment here. Let me catch you up with the chat. Have some hellos happening. Let's see here. Halloween harvest party is like a festival. Sounds fun. Did you wear the Mask of Zorro costume? That'd be a good one. Yeah, Mask of Zorro. That's right. That's what you were preparing. Man, Becky, you've got such a good memory. Yeah, now that you bring it up, I remember Fab mentioning that. But, yeah, you'll have to let me know. Fab, did you dress up as Zorro? Because that'd be awesome. And that's correct. Yep, Ash from Pokemon. Oh, yeah, and he's even got the guitar strap. And, hey, you did recognize that. Yeah, I've got the Pokemon badges on my guitar strap. That's correct. But, yes, Ash from Pokemon. Thank you, Fab, saying I still want the vinyl versions of your music, but I realize to have the vinyl service out there, but I am poor, but it could produce one. I will find a way to get $20 doll hairs. I don't know if I can accept doll hairs as currency, but man, I don't know what it would cost to produce one. I will say this. I've got kind of a plan. I like a lot of the songs I've been writing lately, and I'm excited for the songs that are coming, which, by the way, I'm in the final stages of Pull the Trigger, so that one will be coming very soon. I'm going on vacation next week, so that might delay it, but the song's practically done, so it's coming out very soon. And after that, again, I'm excited about the songs that I have coming, and there's a few things set in motion, but I'm sort of thinking ahead. This isn't happening anytime soon, but I was kind of thinking, like, man, you know, like 5 songs from now, I'll have like a bunch of songs that I really like, and I'm hoping to maybe start getting out and playing some live shows in my local town, and then maybe, you know, I'm thinking things like eventually collaborating with like local studios a little bit to help, and I'm thinking of actually going back and remixing some songs, like picking my favorite ones, and maybe picking about like 12 of my favorites, and then writing 3 extra tracks and making an album or something. There's not really a reason to make an album, to be honest, but so don't think like this is happening next year or something like that. I'm not saying that. Next year, maybe, I don't know, no, I might be a little, you know, that might be jumping the gun a little bit to see if I'd be playing live shows next year. I don't know. I might be busking next year. Like, I thought that'd be fun. If I have enough songs, I thought it'd be fun just to go out and with my acoustic guitar and just get some gigs at like cafes or go out downtown and just play some songs. So I might do that just for the fun of it, but it'll probably be a little while till I'm starting to play live shows. But I do think it'd be fun in the future to kind of pick some of my favorite songs, write a few songs specifically for an album, and kind of reproduce them, like remix them, just so they're all a little more polished and cohesive. And then, yeah, that'd be cool. So if that ever happened, maybe maybe I could look into the vinyl pressing process and see if I could get a few vinyls pressed. I don't know how much it costs to make one, you know. But I figure if I'll make one, maybe I can make at least 10 of them, and it could be like an exclusive thing. 10 vinyls. Come and get them. But, you know, can't promise that. Here's our highlighted lyric. Go, just leave, stay away from me because I can't breathe. Absolutely, yep. A little bit of, song kind of dealing with, again, I've sort of expressed before, if I wanted to, I'd probably go back and kind of polish up those lyrics, but the general idea behind that song was just, I think having certain conflicting frustrations with somebody and like kind of, you know, who I want to be and what I want to do, and sort of feeling like this other person isn't. It was a little kind of all over the place, to be honest. But that was sort of the feeling of kind of feeling pressured and just wanting that space to kind of be who I wanted to be and do what I wanted to do. But even that description is a little vague. Thank you for the applause, Jack. Nice. Thank you. Thank you. Much appreciated. Good request, Becky. Good job, Quincy. Well, thank you. Much appreciated. Got a request for Ascension. All right, Silas, that'll be coming your way soon. I can see you fine, Quincy. Yep. Didn't notice if you were dark. I was reading chat. Well, I'll play another song in a moment. And what am I looking for? If I look dark when I go back to play, just let me know and I'll get that extra light cut on. But if it looks fine, then we'll leave it alone. All right. No, I didn't dress as Zorro, but I got a handlebar mustache for the first time. Well, there you go. That's progress. Maybe next year you'll at least get the hat, and then the year after that you can get the gloves, and then one of these years you will fully transform into Zorro. We're dressed as black and white TV people, and I also look like Michael Jackson. That's kind of cool. Are you doing like full-on makeup, like makeup, so that you look like you're kind of gray, and to look like you're coming out of a black and white TV show or something like that? Oh, that's interesting. Becky's saying The Walking Dead Alexandria actually is in Virginia. You might get to see some of the places it was filmed. I'll look that up. I haven't had time yet, but tomorrow I'm definitely going to be spending all day, like, kind of planning for that trip. I got to get packed, and we're going to be leaving Sunday. And so probably tomorrow I'll actually look into Alexandria and do a little bit of research to see what all they have so I can kind of be prepared to kind of show up and just have fun and stuff. But I'll have to look into that. I'll have to see if they shot some footage from The Walking Dead there. Maybe there's a few sites I can look for. If you're heading out, Fab, take care. Hey, we got Daniel. Good evening from Scotland. Hey, Daniel. Becky was actually a little concerned about you, saying the weather hasn't been that great in the UK. How are things in Scotland right now? A few questions for you. One, what time is it where you're at? And two, how have things been so far? I hope the weather hasn't ruined the trip. I hope you've had good weather, but definitely fill me in on how things are going. We're about to hop into another song here, but happy Halloween to you, brother. Let's see here. Yeah, do they have any good Halloween treats in Scotland? Do they celebrate Halloween in Scotland? I'd be curious. All right, Jack, give me a thumbs up out there. Jack had requested A Mirror That Was Broken, so I'm going to get into that song. And by all means, Daniel, if you've got a request, let me know. We've got a few. I just did Guilty for Becky, and then we had a request for A Mirror That Was Broken by Jack, and then Silas requested Ascension. I'm going to be playing that. There's our thumbs up. Cool. And I can't remember if Fab made a request or not. He might have headed out anyway. But yeah, Fab, if you did make a request, let me know and I'll get to it. Sometimes it's hard to keep up with them. All right, let me get my backing track set up. There we go. All right. This is requested by Fab. This is my song, A Mirror That Was Broken. That was released earlier this year. Fab, this one goes out to you. I hope you like it. And again, I'm not, what's the word I'm looking for? Caution's too strong of a word. Just a disclaimer or a heads up, these gloves are hard to play in. So hopefully I'll get through the song okay. All right, we're going to give it a shot. Here you go, Jack. This one goes out to you.
And so I lived happily ever after, or so I thought, until she told me it was over. A broken heart has a way of life, but when I stop to think, I never seem to find an answer. And I am falling apart now, for all I know. Everything's changed, and I must let go. But I keep reflecting on better days, and wondering if life will ever be the same. Scraping up the pieces, counting up my hands, looking for myself in a mirror that is broken. I said goodbye and never saw my friends again. Then took some time to see if I could make things clear. It's a lonely drive, and there's no one in the passenger seat. And I'll catch myself often glancing in the rearview mirror, 'cause I am falling apart now, for all I know. Everything's changing and I must let go, but I keep reflecting on better days, and wondering if life will ever be the same. Scraping up the pieces, cutting up my hands, looking for myself in a mirror that is broken. With every single tear, there's a lesson to be learned. With every single scar, is a treasure to be earned. But I'll never find healing if I'm holding on to hurt. I'll never see heaven if I'm face down in the dirt. With every single tear, there's a lesson to be learned. With every single scar, is a treasure to be earned. But I'll never find healing if I'm holding on to hurt. And so I'm letting go, 'cause I am falling apart now, for all I know. Caught a glimpse of myself before I let him go. I'm looking ahead now to better days, and wondering what life has got to me. I'm falling apart now, for all I know. Just fragments of memories from long ago. But those days are over, so I'll move on. I know that the best is yet to come. Displaying all the pieces, showing you I am formed a masterpiece. From a mirror that was broken. From a mirror that was broken.
Thank you. Again, that one was called A Mirror That Was Broken. That was requested by Jack. Jack, thanks for your request. I hope you enjoyed the song. All right, for anyone just tuning in, don't be shy, say hello, and happy Halloween. I am letting you all choose my set list. So far, I'm letting you request songs of mine. You can find them in the description on YouTube. So far, we've had a request for Guilty, and I just played A Mirror That Was Broken. We've got Ascension coming up next. That was requested by Silas. But if you have not yet made a request, feel free to do so. Again, you can find my songs in the description. So just let me know which song of mine you'd like to hear, and I'll play it just for you. All right, catching up with the chat. Also, a little side note, hopefully y'all couldn't hear it. I don't think y'all could, but I had an alarm go off on my phone because it's an alarm that I have on Fridays. I don't usually do my streams on Fridays, so the alarm went off, but I don't think you all could hear it. It's a very soothing alarm. It's not like an annoying one. It's like a very kind of much more tolerable one. All right, catching up with the chat here. Let's see. It's almost 11 right now. Gotcha. So that's not too bad. Like, it's, yeah, certainly late. It's kind of funny because usually you were before me because I don't know what the time zone is for Texas, but I know, I'm Eastern Standard Time. So I know if it's 7 o'clock here right now, it's probably like, what, 6 or 5 o'clock in Texas or something. Maybe Silas can tell me because he's in Texas as well, if I recall. And then, so yeah, now you're like 4 hours behind me. So yep, 11. Weather has actually been pretty good. Awesome. Small bits of rain, but nothing to dampen my tours or damper. Going to Loch Ness. That was the only very cold day. Awesome. So much here in Edinburgh. The town has so much to offer. I ate too much today. Hey, you're on vacation, so that's the one time, like, yep, you want to keep your food in check. You want to eat right, but on vacation, that's where you can splurge a little bit. 1 week's not going to throw you off, but any like particular dishes or anything, like anything special from Scotland that's kind of unique to the country, you'll have to let me know. Yeah, any sightings of the Loch Ness Monster? Lighting seems fine. Good. Thanks for the feedback, Becky. Let's see here. I think I saw him, but no one will ever believe me. I also got to see Urquhart Castle. Okay, that was really cool. I bet that was cool. Yeah, getting to walk through a castle. That'd be sweet. Thank you for the applause, Jack, Becky. Much appreciated. Yeah, I believe you, Daniel. If you said you saw Nessie, yeah, I believe you. Yeah, so usually from Texas, I think I'm an hour ahead. So it's probably like 6 o'clock in Texas right now, 6:05, something like that. Didn't hear the alarm, so you're playing really well despite the gloves. Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, it's really hard playing in these fingerless gloves. Daniel, have you ever played guitar in fingerless gloves before? Because it's a very weird feeling. But so far, not too bad. And then, yeah, the alarm wasn't too loud, and I didn't figure it would pick up anyway, because even I couldn't really hear it while I was playing, but I wanted to make sure you guys weren't hearing it either. 4 hours ahead. Yep. Gotcha. Wait, how many different time zones are there in the U.S.? I think there are 4. There might be 5, but that's a good question. How many time zones in the U.S.? Oh, what? There are 9? Hold on, let me read this. There are 9 time zones by law in the U.S. And its dependencies. However, adding the time zones of 2 uninhabited U.S. territories, Howland Island and Baker. Okay. The contiguous U.S. has 4 standard time zones. Yeah, I was about to say. Okay. So there must be like some other territory that is technically the United States. But as far as like everything, like all the states right next to each other in that one mass of land, yeah, there are 4. So I'm Eastern. Yeah. So you're one behind me, Daniel, because I'm seeing it right now. I'm the Eastern time zone because I'm on the East Coast of the United States. Daniel and Silas are Central time zone, so they're kind of in the middle. After them is the Mountain time zone, and then all the way to the west, the Pacific time zone. That's where California is. So, cool beans.
Well, they tell you to try haggis or hagies, however you pronounce it. The closest thing I tried today was haggis fritters. They were actually pretty good. I think I remember us talking about that, haggis or hagies. I don't know how to pronounce it, but I think I recall maybe talking about that beforehand, before you had left. Texas is so big it has its own time zone. Well, it's, how do I say this? Oh, really? Yeah, I think there are 2 time zones in Texas because it's so big. Yeah, that's what I would say. It's yeah, it would be kind of normal. I don't know if you mistyped what it, but usually just a state having its own time zone would be kind of normal, you know. Again, if I were looking at the map here, so if you look along the East Coast, there's a bunch of different states. I'm in Virginia, but underneath Virginia is North Carolina and then South Carolina. If you keep going down, eventually you get to Florida. And if you go up north, that's where New York is. And then there's even a few, I think, West Virginia. I can't see. Okay, there we go. Yeah. You know, Pennsylvania's up north, and we got West Virginia, Ohio. So there's quite a few states that are just in the Eastern time zone. And then Central, there's a lot. Looking at the map, it looks like there's a very tiny bit of Texas. According to this map, you know, this is just the first one I'm looking at. But according to this map, there's a very tiny bit of Texas that is in another zone. But I could believe it. I could believe it if it were split like in half, or if part of it were in Mountain Time Zone. But according to this, from Texas over to, I think that's Alabama. Now, Tennessee's split in half. Half of Tennessee. Tennessee is smaller, but I guess it's like right on the line. So half of it is Eastern Standard Time, and the other half, or the majority of it, is Central. So there's a few states where it like cuts right down the line. Interesting. Yep. Cool stuff. All right. Daniel saying, and yes, I have played with gloves. Even playing in long sleeves is tough for me. I could see that, yeah. If I played in long sleeves, I'd probably roll them up. But especially like your palm muting hand. If that other hand's coming down and getting in the way, I could see sleeves. Well, yeah, really both. Yeah, long sleeves, I could see them getting in the way. Oh, yeah, Becky's saying, I only ever think East Coast, West Coast. Yep, there's a few more. Again, on that particular part, there's 4. There's East and West, but then there's 2 more in the center. That would be Central and Mountain Time. Yeah, Jack's saying Eastern Standard Time. So, yeah, Eastern, I mean, again, it's more than just the United States. I guess it goes up, you know, the whole globe. So, any time zone. So, I guess you're on the eastern side of Canada. I think Texas is so big it takes almost 12 hours from one end to the other. Yeah, I think you're probably right about that. Because even Virginia, like Texas is huge. Because even Virginia, I mean, I think I can drive 3 hours and still be in Virginia, maybe 4. So Texas, I would imagine, yeah, is probably like 3 or 4 times the size of that. It's really not the biggest state. That's interesting. I'm trying to think what it would be. Is it Alaska? Is Alaska the biggest state? To look it up. What's the biggest state in the U.S.? It is Alaska. Yeah, I had a feeling. Yeah, Texas is probably second, but Alaska is very big. All right, cool stuff. I'm going to tell you guys quick little story, and then we'll get into another song here. We had a request for Ascension from Silas. I almost called you Silosis. So, Silosis is one of my favorite bands. Silas, give me a thumbs up if you're still out there. I don't want you to miss your song. If anyone else, if you have not yet made a request, again, you can find my songs in the description on YouTube. So far, we've only done Guilty and A Mirror That Was Broken, and then Silas requested Ascension, so I'm going to try to do that for him. But want to make sure he's still out there. 3 United Kingdoms can fit in Texas. Holy cow. Yeah. There's probably a lot to explore in Texas. All right. I did something fun this week. So you guys know I kind of have a goal. I've had a goal this year to sort of get out more. At the beginning of the year, I had joined this fitness class. Kind of doing 2 things. One, just trying to get out in general, get out to local music shows, live shows, local events, things like that. Just trying to be a part of that, get out and meet some people, have some experiences. But along with that, I also had a goal to participate in some kind of class, ideally a class with other people who share a common interest with me and people that are a similar age to me. So my first attempt at that was earlier this year when I was going to this fitness studio. Shout out to Progress Studio. It was a great place. Had a good time there. Definitely got some good workouts. But the only problem was it just kind of felt like everyone was showing up to do their workout and then they were kind of getting on with their day. It didn't feel like, I felt like the only people I was really getting to know were the instructors. And so, I enjoyed my time there, but it wasn't quite what I was looking for. The main point in joining a class was to hopefully meet people and kind of make some friends and stuff. So now what was interesting was through that, though, it's kind of funny. I'll be honest. I made a list of things I'm interested in, and I kind of ordered them. Like, what am I most interested in? What am I least interested in? But I also organized that same list. I was like, now, which of these interests is most likely to have women involved? And so the funny thing is, probably the thing I was most interested in doing was joining a martial arts class of some kind. But which one was probably least likely to have women involved, I assumed was the martial arts place. So it was like at the bottom of the list. So the thing I wanted to do most was also probably the thing that wasn't going to have a whole lot of women there. So, I was trying some other things. I was trying to find a middle ground between something I was really interested in, but more likely. But the funny thing was, one of the instructors at Progress Studio, she attends this martial arts place in town it was one that I'd heard of. I hadn't really checked it out, but I found out she was there and I asked her about it, and she kind of gave me a few names to look into. And so I was planning to go, and the main thing that held me back, I was having vehicle problems in the mid-range of this year. My Jeep wasn't working. I was having to borrow other people's vehicles. So I didn't want to commit to some kind of class without being able to having my own vehicle. I wanted to make sure I could show up and actually commit. I didn't want to have to depend on someone else's vehicle and then find out, I don't have access to, my dad's truck or my mom's car. And so I can't show up. I wanted to make sure I could commit. So I got a new vehicle a few weeks ago, maybe a month or so ago now. But I hadn't signed up for a class yet. And part of me was like, am I going to do this? When am I going to do this? And I was trying to plan it out, and it's kind of funny because this is just the way life is, where it's so easy to make excuses of, it's almost the end of the year, and this is a busy time of year. Maybe I should wait till next year, and then I'll join or something like that. But that was the thing I learned. It was the same thing with Progress Studio. Is like, I don't think there's ever a perfect time. You can't wait for everything to be ready. You can't wait for the stars align. Sometimes you just have to say, hey, this is what I want to do. I'm going to make it happen. And so I just decided, it's time. If I'm going to do this, I just got to pull the trigger on it. There we go. Pull the trigger and do it. So I went ahead and applied for the free week trial. And so this past week has been my week trial at this martial arts place. It's called Gracie Charlottesville, or Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. And they teach a couple different arts. The primary ones, it's a jiu-jitsu place, but they also have Muay Thai. That's what I was really interested in. And so I showed up, and I was trying to take advantage this week of all the different, you could come up to as many classes as you want for the week. So I was trying to make it as many times as I could and get to know the place. So I came the first time. On Monday, and I got to meet one of the instructors. Her name's Kristen, and she was an instructor for the Muay Thai class. And they have different levels. So that was a fundamentals class, meaning that's kind of the ideal one for first timers. And I came in, and it was fun. It's cool because they partner you up with someone, and you never really know who you're going to get partnered up with. So right off the bat, you get to meet somebody, and you're working together. So sometimes you're holding the pads for them while they're practicing their punches or their kicks on it, and then they're holding the pads for you. And the instructor was really nice about kind of helping me out and sort of, I've practiced certain techniques myself, but helping me critique. I've never had proper training, so I've only had to figure things out myself. And so kind of pointing out the things that I was doing good and then the areas where I could tweak my technique. So that was really nice. So the first day was good. It wasn't mind-blowing or anything, but, it kind of worked out well. And then second day I actually showed up, and I was nervous about the second day because it was an open rank class, which is technically a more advanced class. Now, I wasn't worried about being a part of the class. I was worried that they wouldn't let me do it. But sure enough, I met the other instructor. His name was Daniel, and he was pretty chill about it. He's like, "All right, well, we'll let you in on this one, and just I think he kind of gave me a heads up that it's a little more fast paced, and but he said we'd talk something out and work out like what a good fit for me would be." But I came, and thankfully, I since I exercise regularly, I was able to keep up with the intensity. I did well with handling the intensity of it. And the only thing I really needed help with was just like holding the pads. And even that, I wasn't too bad, but I was paired up with another guy. He was very nice and kind of helped me learning how to work the pads and then kind of instructing me. But I was able to keep up. And so that was the nice thing. It was really nice hearing the instructor afterwards say, "Hey, you actually did a lot better than I thought you would." So that was really nice of him to say. Came back a third day, and this was a fundamentals class, so it was a little bit easier. And we got to talking again. And it sounds like I probably still need to do the fundamentals just to have a good foundation. So it's not so much my level of fitness. It's more so just understanding the rhythm of the class and kind of learning some of the basic, again, like holding the pads and just kind of correcting certain things with my technique so that I can get in there and I'm not, because that's the thing. It's not so much whether or not I can handle it. It's also making sure that I'm not affecting the other person's training, because I don't want the other person waiting on me to figure it out, like how to do stuff. So I figured out a time that would work to do fundamentals, but he kind of assured me, yeah, if you can come to fundamentals for the rest of this year, then next year you'd probably be good to switch to the open rank. So that was kind of cool. But I don't know. I loved it, man. Like I had a lot of fun, especially that open rank class. It was just really fun. I was just soaking it all up, just learning, and it was just a really satisfying workout. Third day was really good too. Third day, I actually got partnered up with a girl. And so that's the thing. It's kind of funny. Actually, all 3 days, like I met different girls each time. No one, that I was particularly interested in, but I'm just pointing out that for a martial arts place, you'd think it'd just be all dudes. And it's like, no, actually, I'm meeting girls here. So that was nice. I got partnered up with one and we trained together. And then yesterday was the last day I was going to be able to make it. So that's actually why I moved the stream. I moved the stream because yesterday was going to be the last day I'd be able to show up for a class. And yesterday's class was good too, but it was nice. Like they gave me enough feedback to, just to kind of have stuff to work on. And I don't know, it's exciting. Like there's something fun about knowing, like have something to work towards. It's not just show up and go through the motions. So it's not like a fitness class where it's like I show up and I already know how to work out and stuff. It's fun being able to learn something and then hopefully be able to learn with other people who are also kind of going through that with me and stuff. So either way, it's been a lot of fun. I've really loved it so far. And I'm planning to go on Mondays for the rest of this year and looking forward to attending. So anyway, that's what my week's been up to. Let's get back to some more music. Sounds like Silas, is probably trick-or-treating, to be honest. He was going out with some friends or going to a friend's house, so that could be the case. We've got a request for Erase Myself from Daniel. I'm going to get that for you, brother. Thank you for the thumbs up, Jack. Quincy can play Daniel's song first if Silas is out right now. That's probably what I'm going to do. I'm going to play Erase Myself. If anyone else has a request and I haven't seen it, just go ahead and retype it in the chat. But Daniel, give me a thumbs up real quick. Well, you just commented, so never mind. Or even Ascension and then Erase Myself, instrumental and then lyrics. No worries. Well, Silas had requested Ascension, so there's a chance he might come back. He might not. If he doesn't, I'll play Ascension later or something. But we'll go ahead and do Erase Myself. This was requested by Daniel. Here's your courtesy reminder. Get some water. All right. Let me get the backing track set up. I kind of forgot about this, but quick little backstory. The year that I released Erase Myself, and there were a few other songs I released that year. I think I did Waking Up and Get Up Again. I think those were all the same year. At that time, I was kind of just making demos. Like when I made this song, yes, I released it, but if you look it up on Spotify, you'll see that it says OMB version, and that stands for One Man Band Version. And the idea behind that is I wasn't going to do finished mixes. I was just going to get the mix good enough, and then I was going to make a video of me playing all the instruments for the song. So there are a few songs that I did that. There's a few songs on my channel where it shows me playing all the instruments for the song.
Be back in a second. And then later, some of you know Indigo. You might remember Indigo. He's popped in for a few streams. He doesn't come often, but he's come a few times. And the guy makes great music. And I'm hoping it happens. I don't know for sure. But we've had chats about collaborating. And, I'd love it for something to work out because I genuinely like his music. Like, that's the thing. Sometimes, collaboration's a good thing, but sometimes you don't always... the people that you could collaborate with, sometimes you don't always genuinely like their music. Like, you can be supportive of them and what they do, but you can be like, yeah, keep going, keep doing what you're doing, but, your music's not really for me. But he's one of those guys that it's like, hey, we're kind of in the same ballpark of music, and I think your stuff is really cool. I think it's really good. So that's like a collaboration. I'd like something to happen, and hopefully something in the future will. But either way, I was chatting with him. It was back in 2023. And he's actually the one that kind of encouraged me, like, hey, man, you should, if you can, you should try to up the production value. He said it was worthwhile, and I appreciate that. I've definitely put out a lot better mixes over the past couple years. And that was really by his prompting, him kind of encouraging me to not just settle for demos, because that was my idea. Just write the song, put it out, be done with it. And it's like, no, actually put a little effort in, go the extra mile to put out something that sounds a little more polished. So, but all of that to say, this is one of the songs I kind of released back during that period. But either way, Daniel, this one goes out to you, brother. This is Erase Myself.
Have to keep fighting, ignite the flame. It's deep.
Thank you. Again, that was Erase Myself. That was requested by Daniel. Daniel, thank you for your request. I hope you enjoyed the song. Wearing headphones over a hat is kind of tricky. So they're coming off a little bit on that song. All right. Man, I got to be honest. Like in that chorus, like I nailed that first high note, and I was like, man, that felt good. And I was trying to recreate that. Didn't quite get it the second time. It's a weird technique. It's a mixed voice technique. And it's one of those things like when you do it, it feels effortless, like it feels good. You can hit that high note just solid without any effort. But then if you miss it, it just, the whole thing falls apart. So there we go. But either way, I don't know. I gotta practice that. It'd be nice if I could have that on, like if I could just have that on lock, if I could do that every time. All right, catching up with the chat. For anyone just tuning in, don't be shy, say hello. And it is, happy Halloween to you. I'm letting you all choose whatever song of mine you'd like to hear. You can find my songs in the description here on YouTube. All right. Yeah, Becky was saying I was wanting to hear this one. Well, awesome. I remember. Yeah, Indigo, that's right. He fairly recently, he was volunteering to do firefighter work. So very cool of him. Thank you for the emojis, Becky, and thank you for the applause, Jack. Awesome. Thanks, Quincy. My pleasure. Thank you for the request, Daniel. Glad you enjoyed it. Here's our highlighted lyric. It hurts at first, but worth all the pain to see myself and not be ashamed. And it's very much a song. The song is it's a refining process. That's why it's Erase Myself. It's, sometimes there are parts of ourselves we don't like. And we just kind of say, I guess that's it. I have to deal with that. But a lot of times the things we don't like are things that we can improve and we can build on. Sure, maybe there's certain things that we have to learn to accept about ourselves, but it's more so about what we choose to do. And who we choose to be. That's kind of what the song is about. And so sometimes it's hard to make those changes. Sometimes it hurts. It takes effort to do that. Again, I was sharing before, that whole martial arts story. It's like, whatever. Maybe you guys, you don't care about martial arts or whatever. But for me, the reason that's important is because it's so easy to just say, well, let me just stick with what I know. Let me just stay with the same routine. Let me come up with some excuse so I don't go out. But it's just so satisfying. It's so exhilarating to just say, no, I'm going to change the routine. I'm going to commit to this thing and I'm going to make myself go out there and do it. And I don't know what's going to happen, but that's part of the excitement. That's the adventure of it. And that's the stuff that kind of helps you change and become who you want to be. So sometimes it takes some effort. Sometimes it takes some discomfort. Sometimes it hurts. But when you can go through that, that's what refines you. That's what helps you come out as a stronger and better version of yourself. And so, that's kind of what the song is about. Becky's saying, I'm confused. Wikipedia said that some of The Walking Dead was filmed in Alexandria. Then I read the whole thing was shot in Georgia. That's interesting. Yeah. I know it's pretty common for, movie shoots, show shoots, to sometimes shoot in multiple locations, even if it's the same place, even if supposedly they're in the same spot. Like I think, for example, like Spider-Man, I think, Spider-Man's supposed to be in New York, but some of those films, they don't shoot them all in New York. I think even the first ones with Tobey Maguire, I think they shot in Chicago a lot. They'll shoot in other cities just for whatever they need for a certain scene. And so in the same way, I would think for Walking Dead, maybe they shot some in Alexandria, maybe they shot some in Georgia, but I'm not sure. Yeah, I'll have to look into that. Alexandria was a survivors' settlement in like the 4th or 5th season of The Walking Dead. Alexandria, the Kingdom, and Hilltop were the settlements that rose up against Nagan. And I don't know if there was a misreading. I know Alexandria was the name of the place, but it sounded like, Becky was making it sound like it might actually be Alexandria, Virginia, which is the place that I'm going to. Quick little reminder, I'll mention this at the end, but yeah, there's not going to be a live stream next week because I'm going to be away in Alexandria, Virginia, with my family next week. So that's kind of why that's coming up, if anyone doesn't know. All right. Well, let's see here. Jack was really excited when I heard Quincy was going there, and I'm annoyed at myself for making him think he could see the sets. No worries. You know, I'll look into it myself a little bit, and if it turns out there were some locations, because there are things to do that. I remember like a couple years ago, I think it was 2 years ago, I went to New York with my brother-in-law and my nephew, and we got some pictures from locations, or at least one location from the Spider-Man movie, and that was so cool. So if I ever go to New York again, that's going to be a goal of mine, is to have a list of movie locations and get pictures at those spots. So I'll check it out. You know, we'll see if, you know, I'll confirm for myself, but if there's like some memorable, although I will say I don't think I have watched the 4th and 5th seasons, so even if they did shoot it there, I might not recognize any of the spots, but maybe there's something I could get a picture at. All right. If anyone has a song request, feel free to let it be known. You can write it, and even if you've requested a song already, feel free to make another request. It is Halloween. I got to ask you guys, what's your go-to candy? You know, what's your favorite Halloween candy? I'm sure this is not the first time we've talked about candy, but I don't know. You can never, you know, you can always talk about candy. My parents were helping with an event at the church. There was an event called the Treat Trail, or Trunk or Treat. And so, you know, the kids got to dress up, and there were a lot of cars that were parked, and the trunks of the cars were opened up, and the back of the cars were decorated. There was a theme for each car, and then they'd have candy and little handouts that they'd give to the kids. And then there were certain activities and things that they could do there. I wasn't at it. There wasn't really a particular reason for me to go, but my parents were there, and they had a box of candy, gave out quite a bit of it, but then came back, and so we've got a lot of candy left over. And so I'm kind of looking through, and pretty much there's a few things, but pretty much any chocolate caramel combo is kind of my favorite thing. I'm sort of torn between, you know, the two that I've got right now that I really like are Twix and Milky Ways. Now, specifically, when it comes to Milky Ways, I've heard someone mention this before, but the Milky Way minis, I think they're actually better than like a full-on Milky Way bar, because the full-on Milky Way bar, it's like a bit much, but the small one, it's like a good amount to bite into, and there's something, it's like got a smooth, chocolatey caramel kind of texture to it, so that's very satisfying. But I do think I like that crunch. I like that cookie crunch that you get from the Twix, but that'd be my only complaint is the Twix, like the Twix minis, are a little small, so maybe, you know, I actually don't know if I've ever eaten a full-size Twix. I almost think I always get the minis, because I pretty much only get candy around Halloween time. But maybe one of these days, maybe the full-size Twix would be satisfying for me, because that's what I was thinking. I was like, man, I think I like the Twix better, but I wish it was the size of the Milky Way, because even the Milky Way mini is like twice as big as the Twix. And so if it was a little bit bigger, a little fuller, if you could like merge those two, I think that'd be like the perfect candy bar for me, probably. Also, you know, brief shout out to Milk Duds. They're not bad, but they're like a tough chew. You know, they're kind of tough to chew on, and they're not my favorite. I think I like a good bar of some kind. Let's see what we got here. Let me catch up with the chat. That's like me in traveling. I told myself a while back to travel and see the world now and not put it on the back burner, since it's something I want to do. So been doing it for a while. And, you know, good for you, Daniel. Like, again, I love hearing about it, and that's a good thing too. Hey, if anything, know that you've always got a place here to talk about your ventures. Like, I know it's really for yourself. Just do it for yourself. But I know sometimes, like, that's kind of the joy of doing anything. It's fun to do something and then be able to express it. So just know that you have a space here to kind of share, you know, go in as much detail as you want about, you know, your favorite travels and your highlights and of the trip and whatever it might be. But, you know, kudos to you. Like, I really, you know, I really appreciate that. I admire that, and I admire you for doing that, for saying, I want to do this, and you know what? I can do it now. There's really no reason why I can't do it now. Let me just go ahead and make it happen. So I think that's awesome. And I think that's just such an important thing. It's so easy in life to kind of put things off, to put them on the back burner. And really the only way they're going to get done, the only way they're ever going to happen is if you make them a priority. So that's awesome, Daniel. Mars bars, that's Jack's favorite, but don't think I can eat them anymore. That's too bad. Well, I hope we're not depressing you if we're talking about candy, Jack. I'd hate it if it's kind of a health issue and you got to be mindful of your candy intake or sugar. I don't know if it's the sugar or something else. But let's see here. Becky was saying my favorite candy is whichever I'm eating at the time. I'm not too picky. I'm not going to lie, Becky. You remind me of my brother. And I've got a brother. He loves food. And that's not a fun answer. That's all I'll say. I'll ask him, like, what's your favorite, what's your favorite kind of food? And he's like, I don't know. I like all of it. It's like, that's his answer. Like, that's not fun. Like, come on. I was like, if you had to pick, Mexican, Asian, pizza, which of those would you choose? And he's like, I'd probably pick all of them. It's like, that's not fun, Bentley. Come on. So, I mean, I get what you're saying, but I think there's something special about, like, having, like, oh, that's the target. That's what I'm looking for. I kind of put candy in two categories. I kind of separate chocolate from, like, the fruity flavored candy. But when it comes to the fruity flavored stuff, I got to go, like, Sour Patch Kids. I actually really like Skittles. Skittles are a good one for me. And there's probably a few Sour Airheads. Those are good. And then even these, have you ever had those nerd clusters? So not the regular nerds. There's the nerds that all they are is just the... I don't even know what they are. They're like little crumbs, pebbles of some kind of crunchy candy. And, they're fine, but I wouldn't go out of my way. But taking that same thing and then putting it on like a gooey cluster, it's a very satisfying sensation to bite into. So shout out to the nerd clusters. Those are pretty good. The international traveling is cool because you get to see other cultures. It makes you realize that you're not in the U.S. anymore. Yeah, I would think that'd be the coolest thing, too. It's just kind of seeing how different people live life. Like, that's a cool thing, It's so easy to kind of get caught up in our bubble and just kind of get used to how we do things or how everyone around us does things. And you could go somewhere else and be like, wow, this is like a totally different vibe, totally different atmosphere. So that kind of stuff, that's just so exciting to just explore. I have gummy worms and popping candy. I'm not sure if I know what you mean by popping candy. But gummy worms, that's a pretty good classic right there. And then you got an amen from Jack, though. Truth, Becky, about whatever's in your hand at the moment. And yes, I recall the cherry mash, being a favorite of Daniel's, which I've mentioned before, on the last year's Halloween stream and told you to try, but you probably haven't. If I haven't tried it yet, it's not because I've been avoiding it or anything. It's mostly because I haven't come across it. But maybe I need to make it a priority. You know what, Daniel? I will do this for you. I'm going to make a note. I can't guarantee it's going to happen soon, but I'm going to write it down. And, like, next time I'm out in town or something, I'll go by a store and see if I can, I'll see if I can find a place where they sell them. I'm not going to, like, search every shop, but maybe online I can look it up and see if they sell in any of the stores in my town cherry mash. But I will make it like I go out to the skate park every Saturday, so it would not be hard for me to go to the skate park and then afterwards just stop by a store and pick up some cherry mash. So I will make it a specific goal next time I get out in town to see if I can find a store that sells them. What you do is you heat them up for like 6 seconds, then eat them. I'm going to write that down. Heat up for 6 seconds before eating. I will keep that in mind. Thanks for the pro tip. And sounds like, man, Becky, you might be making Jack jealous with that. You did that the other day with the Mars bars. But I think Mars bars here are Milky Ways. Man. I took a trip today, tripped on the sidewalk. Oh, I thought that was a joke you were making earlier, Jack. I'm sorry if you tripped on the sidewalk. I know Becky started the chat with a little boo, little ghost emoji, and I was making a joke about how it scared me. And then I thought you were making a joke of how it scared you and tripped on the sidewalk, but I'm sorry if you actually did trip. I hope you're okay. You have Kinder Bueno bars. Those are my favorite. Don't think I've ever heard of that. So, sometimes there are certain candies that they're not as common, but you can still get them. That looks familiar. It actually looks familiar. But hey, if you like them, I'm seeing, is that caramel or peanut butter? Can't really tell. But I'll try it. Kinder Bueno. And, you know, Jack, y'all are giving me some candy to check out. Kinder Bueno. And I'll look up a Mars bars. I think I've had Mars bars before, but I can't say I've had them regularly, so I'll have to check that out. All right, I'll mention it later, but there is something exciting here. It's actually my favorite season right now, and I'll explain what I mean by that. Pop rocks, gotcha. Yeah, pop rocks are good. So pop rocks and popping candy, kind of the same thing. So it probably is at the local grocery store. Is it really that common? Look on the candy aisle. All right, I'll check it out. I'll go by a grocery store. We've got a request for Farewell to Fear coming your way. Probably good for Halloween. Like, Halloween's fun. No need to be scared. So, Farewell to Fear. That'll be coming your way in just a moment here, Becky. You know the trick by warming up some chocolate. We do have Kinder bars in the States. Gotcha. Quincy, there was an ad that popped up the other week for Kinder Buenos when we played the tier list game. Did it pop up while we were playing? So it's like, maybe that's why I'm like, hey, that looks familiar. But no, I think I've seen those like in person too. And real quick, I'm going to look up Cherry Mash. Maybe it'll look familiar. Maybe like the name doesn't sound familiar, but maybe the packaging. Cherry Mash candy bar. It looks like something I would see at like a, what do you call it? Oh my gosh, like a Cracker Barrel. Like that's what it looks like. So maybe I just haven't noticed at a local grocery store or something. But again, I'm usually not at the grocery store shopping for candy, so I might just have never noticed. But and that's not an insult, by the way, saying it looks like, that's actually kind of a compliment, saying it looks like a candy that I'd see at Cracker Barrel. Because Cracker Barrel usually has like a lot of unique candies or treats that you usually can't get anywhere else. So that's kind of what I meant. Yeah, looks like it's an old candy, been around since 1918, which is actually really cool. So that's probably why it gives me that Cracker Barrel vibe. Yep, sorry about your scraped knee and forearm, but I hope you get better soon. Yep, but glad it wasn't anything too bad, and that's right, hashtag winning. So I don't know about you guys. You'll have to let me know, yay or nay, but I was at home, opened up the fridge, and Mom had gotten some eggnog, and I love eggnog. I'm like, yes, that's my favorite season, eggnog season. So, which, Becky, I'm curious, like in the UK, are there seasonal items? I don't know why, but eggnog, I'm sure there are places you can get it yearly, but usually in grocery stores, it's one of those items that they sell it like late fall or like October, late October through December, and maybe they'll still have it in January. I'm not sure, but it's only for kind of a limited time that they have eggnog. Hey, Stan, appreciate you tuning in. Happy Halloween, man. But eggnog, it's an exclusive thing, but I actually kind of like it for that. I don't think I would appreciate it as much if you could get it whenever, but the fact that there's only it's like a seasonal item, that kind of makes it more special. So whenever I see that it's eggnog season, I'm like, yes, and I try not to, I'll have like just a little bit because it's pretty heavy in sugar, but I love me some eggnog. But I know some people can like it, and then some people it's not for them. All right. Went with the Pokemon this year. Yeah, Stan commenting on the costume. That's right. Went with Ash Ketchum. To be honest, didn't really, at first I was thinking I wasn't even going to dress up at all. But I was like, well, I might have like some costumes from recent years. Sometimes I've got costumes and I can just grab them and throw them on. So this was an easy one to do and a good one. But Stan, let me know how you're doing. If you'd like to make a song request, you can find my songs in the description. Again, so far we've done Guilty, we did A Mirror That Was Broken, and we did Erase Myself. And I'm about to do Farewell to Fear. And then Silas had requested Ascension, but he had to leave. So haven't gotten to do Ascension, but hoping to do that one if he ends up coming back. All right. Lots of Kinder chocolates around here, especially the eggs, which used to have a toy inside. Interesting. I think I actually know what you're talking about. I think I remember a friend of mine who'd get these like chocolate eggs, and they'd have toys inside. It's always fun. Yeah, Kinder eggs are the best. I've never had eggnog, but we have this Swedish drink called Advocat, which is similar. That's kind of interesting. I hadn't heard of that. Now, I will say this, just to clarify, I like eggnog, but I don't drink alcohol, so it's non-alcoholic eggnog. I do know, I think sometimes eggnog can be an alcoholic drink. Sometimes I forget that, but that's not what I'm talking about. Kind of curious, what is this? Well, I think that's Advocate. Like, is it two A's? Advocat. I see, yeah, I see it's a beverage. It's a rich, creamy, and sweet traditional Dutch. It says liquor, so I don't know if that means, I don't know if that's alcoholic liquor, but from eggs, brandy, yeah, brandy and sugar. So now if they make if they make a non-alcoholic version, that might be kind of it says traditional Dutch eggnog, so it sounds like it's probably in the same ballpark. But yeah, I'd have to go with the non-alcoholic version. It does look good, though, from the pictures. I'm seeing some pictures of it. Yep. I think maybe they were banned in the U.S. because the toys were choking a hazard or something. Man. Yesterday, I had a drink here that was more popular than Coke. It's called Iron Brew. Interesting. And yeah, they made a chocolate eggnog around here. It was horrible. Yeah, I got to be honest. Chocolate eggnog doesn't sound right. I love vanilla. There is, I mean, eggnog might already have vanilla in it, but there's another flavor. There's like a vanilla spice eggnog, and that one's really good too. So, all right. Becky, I'm going to get this song going for you. Let me get the track set up. This one is Farewell to Fear. This was my last release. Just put it out not too long ago. And sorry that this one's been a little delayed. This year, it's good stuff. Again, I can't talk about everything that's happened, but there's been just kind of a change of plans this year a little bit. And that sort of interfered with the release of this song. But I've got a new song coming out called Pull the Trigger. I'm literally in the mastering stage, which is the final stage of it. Shouldn't take that long, so that song is coming very soon. It's practically done. I was hoping to release it earlier this month, and it sounds like it's going to come out sometime in November, but that song is basically done. And then, where was I going with that? So do have a new song coming soon, but my latest release is Farewell to Fear, and that's what's coming now. All right. So Becky, this one goes out to you. And let's see, we're doing okay on time. I could probably do 2, maybe 3 more songs. So, Stan, if you'd like to make a request, go ahead and do one, because you haven't made one yet. If you've already made a request, nothing, if no one else shows up, you can certainly make a second request. I'll probably prioritize anybody new who shows up and play their request. But if you've already made one and there's another song you'd like to hear, just let me know. I'll get it for you. Becky, this one goes out to you. This is Farewell to Fear. So if you're a little scared this Halloween, you just say, Fear, farewell. I'm not going to be scared. I'm not going to be scared this year. The ghosts and goblins and the witches and Frankenstein monsters, vampires and werewolves, they're not going to scare me. Farewell. All right, here we go. This one goes out to you.
just hold on to faith. I know there's adventure just waiting for me. Just hold on to faith. I know there's adventure just waiting for me. Don't be afraid. Just hold on to faith. I know there's adventure just waiting for me. Waiting for me. Waiting for me. Don't be afraid. Just hold on to faith. I know there's adventure just waiting for me.
Thank you. Again, that was Farewell to Fear. That was requested by Becky. Becky, thanks for your request. I hope you enjoyed the song. And, having this hat on, sometimes I'm rocking out or I go to look down and I'll keep bumping this mic. So but either way, it's all going well. All right, for anyone just tuning in, don't be shy, say hello. We still got a little bit of time on the clock, so we can probably take 2, maybe 3 more requests. We'll see. Again, if you haven't made a request yet, you can find my songs in the description here on YouTube. So far, we've done Guilty, A Mirror That Was Broken. We just did Farewell to Fear, and we've done Erase Myself. And I think that's it so far. All right, catching up with the chat. Oh my gosh, the chocolate eggnog was room temperature as well. Yeah, that sounds rough. I can't say that sounds appealing to me. Quincy can play Ascension for Stanley then. Yeah, Silas can always watch later. Yeah, if Stan would like to hear Ascension, I can do that for him. Okay, yeah, I think he made I'm seeing a message retracted. So maybe Stan, if you made a request, I don't know if there was a typo and you deleted it, but either one is fine, whether it's Ascension or Move On. You know, I love Move On and I also love Ascension, so I'll let you pick. It's a win-win for me. Okay, cool. We got some, clowns. Those are scary. Clowns and goblins and ghosts and vampires. Yeah, from Becky. Thanks for the fire, Becky. Thank you, Stan. Much appreciated. Loving that, Quincy. That has never failed to nail that scream. Well, thank you. I'm glad. So far, a good track record. Let's see. Busy. Sleepy. Well, Stan, I hope you sleep well. So sounds like Becky might lose some Wi-Fi. Yeah, sorry if there's going to be a lot of rain coming your way. But hope you can hang out for the rest of the stream. Okay. Well, let's go with Ascension for now. I guess we'll give that one a shot. And that way if Silas ends up watching the replay, he can catch that one. But we'll get that one going in just a bit. Stan, did you have any plans for Halloween today? I think Logan was doing something tomorrow, is what he mentioned, and so you might be off. You might not have to do much for today. And I don't know if you had like a truck set up, if you were involved with the treat trail. I didn't end up going down, so you'll have to let me know if you were a part of that, and let me know how it went. Gotcha. Yeah, so Stan's using the voice to help with the texting. I gotcha, man. All right. Well, before we get into the song, I'm trying to think if there's any more news to mention. Quick little shout out for any gamers out there. I can't remember if I mentioned this, but I got the... It's kind of funny. It's the Resident Evil remaster remake, I guess. Okay. So the first Resident Evil game came out in 1996, I think was the year.
And then in 2004, I believe it was, they remade the game. They remade it for GameCube, and I think eventually it might have come out on PS2. I'm not sure, but they remade it. It was the first game, but they remade it, updated graphics, and better voice acting, or better voice acting than the original version. And then later, they remastered the remake, if that makes sense. So that's what I've got. I've got the remaster of the remake. They remastered it for PS4, and I'm loving it. It's just such a fun game. It's got like a creepy atmosphere. You're in this mansion, and you don't know what's behind every door. You go in a door, and you explore the room, and you're looking for items. You're looking for clues. You're solving puzzles. You're trying to look out for the zombies and trying to survive. It's survival horror. It's a lot of fun. So that's been good. I've been playing that a little bit and enjoying it. It was good, Quincy. The treat trail went well. They had a dump tank. I was a duck. Well, awesome. Sounds like, yeah, you were a duck for the as your costume. So I don't know if Kelly matched you in that. I don't know if she was a duck as well or anything like that. And I think some people had trouble getting Trenton dunked. I know he was the subject in the dunk tank, but I think I saw some video of Jacob getting a shot and getting him dunked. So looks like it was fun. Yeah, Daniel's saying, love the Resident Evil games. Yeah, it's a great series. I love so many of them. 7 is great. I've played the remake of 2. That's great. I'm not sure which of those I like better. I love them both. Resident Evil 4 is a classic, and they've also remade that one. I haven't played the remake yet, but I've got I think the remastered version of that one, and that's a good one. And then I'm loving the remaster of the remake. A lot of remasters and remakes, but this is one of the few times, for games it's a little different though. When they're remaking it, it's like they're trying to update the game basically. They're trying to take what it used to be and update the controls, and like a good remake recreates the experience of what you remember it being, Like when you play Resident Evil for the first time, you remember it being this very atmospheric, vibey, like exciting experience. But if you go back and play the original game, you're probably going to be like, oh, this is kind of dated now. It's like the graphics aren't quite like I remember. It's not quite as atmospheric as I remember. The voice acting is a lot worse than I remember. The controls are a lot clunkier than I remember. So it's like it's not as good as you remember. So that's what a good remake does. A good remake, it takes what you remember the game being and it makes it that, So, but Resident Evil is one of those series that has done that a lot and has done it successfully well. They've got a good track record. There's like a few duds in the series, but for the most part, they've got some bangers. Like I love those games. Quincy, will you be raiding your nieces and nephews' Halloween candy when you get home instead of having dinner? I'll still have dinner, but I'll definitely treat myself to a candy bar or two. I actually haven't had to take from my nephews and nieces' supply because my parents, they did that treat trail and they had some leftover candy. So I've just been grabbing from that, and I'll treat myself to a Twix or a Snicker. No, not Snickers. Snickers isn't bad, but Milky Way. That's what I meant to say. I love the whole mystery solving behind it. Yeah, that's my favorite part too. The funny thing is, like I like the zombies, but they're almost a nuisance. I'm like, will you get out of my way so I can just, like I like just enjoying the environment. I like if you go outside, there's like a creepy balcony and you can hear the wind. It's like kind of calming but kind of eerie, and you can hear the wind, and it's just got it's lit by the moonlight, and I like the atmosphere, and I just like exploring, and I like walking through the mansion and seeing the different rooms. And so whenever there's a zombie in a room, it's like, you're ruining my experience. I'm trying to take this in. And I don't mean ruining in a bad way. Like, obviously, the game is fun with the zombies. But that's my favorite part, is just exploring, and then, like, the rooms with the puzzles and trying to figure that out. There's something really satisfying about that. Yep, Jack saying, haven't played Resident Evil since my brother-in-law's PS1. Yep, that was way back in the day. I can't remember if I think I mentioned this story, but the first Resident Evil, we've come full circle with that, because that was, my brother was given a PS1 from, his friend got a PS2, no longer needed the PS1, gave it to my brother along with some old games, and one of those games was Resident Evil. And And so my brother went to play it. We were thinking we were going to throw it away because of the scary cover with the zombie on it. But he was curious. He tried it out, and he told me, hey, that game was actually pretty cool. And so we played it, and we liked it. We thought it was exciting and fun. And then Mom found out we had the game and saw the creepy zombie and, probably thought the worst of it. And so we ended up getting it taken away from us. But now I've come full circle. I finally got the game back. At least not the PS1 version, though. I've got the remake. But I've got the game back, and I'm playing it, and I'm loving it. So but first one to do it, Jacob walked up, picked the ball, and dropped him and walked off. So first try also. That's pretty good. Mike dropped. LOL, it was awesome. Yeah, sounds like it was fun. Gotta go, everyone. Thanks for the stream, Quincy. Jack, always appreciate you tuning in. I hope you recover quickly from your fall, but I hope you rest well, and I hope you have a great weekend. And again, I'm not going to be streaming next week, so it'll be a little while till I next see you, but always appreciate you tuning in. You take care, man. Happy Halloween. I like the pop scares. You focus on doing what you're doing, and the next thing you know, you turn around. Is like raw. It's been 10 minutes and nothing, and then you're freaked out. Yeah, if you're talking about in Resident Evil and stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of things that'll surprise you. The sound effects are great in the game. There's a lot of sound effects that'll creep you out. Every now and then, like thunder will randomly go off, and it's like, if you're near a window or something. So they got little things like that kind of keep you on edge. Daniel saying, I believe it's Resident Evil 2 where you're in a police station. That's correct. And looking around with this calm music going on, and then all of a sudden the dog jumps out of the wall. Scared the crap out of me. Yeah. Those dang dogs. Yeah, they had the dogs in the first one too, and they're a pain in the butt. But I mean that in a good way though. I mean they're intense. So they definitely amplify the experience. But yeah, they'll come crashing through a window or something, and they'll freak you out. And they're fast too. So, but yes, Resident Evil 2 was in the police station, and they've got dogs in that one as well. Zombie dogs, to be clear. I think I only had it on Nintendo 64. I haven't played it since I was a kid. Well, it's a good one. Get yourself a copy. Thanksgiving is November 27th, right? So no stream. That's correct. Yeah. In general, keep in mind, everyone, that we're getting to the end of the year. We should be fine for a few more streams. But, yeah, I think we're fine in November until the last week of November. That's Thanksgiving, so no stream that day. And I'm probably not going to worry about making it up or anything. I'll probably just kind of, probably just take off that week. And then December, we should be fine. But obviously, there's going to be Christmas Day and New Year's, which are on Thursdays. And even if those days didn't fall on, I probably wouldn't stream that week anyway. I'm probably going to take those 2 weeks off and just enjoy time with my family. And then we'll pick back up at some point in January. I don't know if we'll be right back on the 8th or if I'll need another week to kind of, get back into the routine of things. But, so we should be fine. There's still a few more streams to go back to back. But there's definitely, we are getting into the holiday season. So, there's definitely going to be a few breaks coming up. But we should be fine. And I guess, yeah. I guess this week, or in November, we'll be missing the first week because I'll be away. And then we'll have the next two. And then the last week, we probably won't have a stream. All right. I think, Stan, I think we're going to do Ascension. So here we go. Let me go ahead and play that one. And I'll tell you guys what. I think Ascension might be a wrap. If you guys want to hear one more, you can go ahead and make a request. If you haven't made a request yet, you can definitely do it. But we'll see. I'll play this one. And this might be a wrap, or we might get one more in there. All right, courtesy reminder, stay hydrated. Stan, this one goes out to you, brother. Can't remember if I've told you all this. I've probably told some of y'all, but if y'all don't remember. When I originally wrote this song, it was actually a drum special. I wrote this song so that I could play drums to it, and my friends could play all the other parts. My friends could play the guitar parts and the bass part. Long story short, our church used to have like a little, like in order of the order of the service, there would be a segment where someone could share a special song. And, I would share special songs. I was competing in an event called Teen Talent. That was years ago. And I did a drum special for that and ended up winning the regional, getting to go to nationals. Did not win nationals, but I did a pretty good job on the drum thing. And that was kind of my drum debut. Like I'd been sort of, like I wasn't trying to keep it a secret, but I was learning how to play drums and getting pretty good at it. And so like my parents didn't even know I could play drums. Most of the church didn't know I could play drums. And then all of a sudden I came out with this drum special. So I performed, it was for the competition. And everyone was kind of, they were kind of blown away, like, whoa, where'd that come from? They didn't know I could play drums. So I've been the church drummer ever since, ever since that happened. Now, we've had some other drummers, but I do currently play drums at my church. But after doing that, every now and then there's a particular lady in our church. She's a sweetheart, but she'd always come up to me and she'd say, when are you going to do another drum special? When are you going to do another drum song? And so I actually kind of wrote this. Like, I wanted something to play along with, so I wrote this song to drum along with, and I tried to write it so that my friends could play all the guitar parts, and the plan was we were all going to play this song together. They were going to play the music, and I was going to play the drums to it. But that ended up not working out. But I did end up recording the song and releasing it. And again, this was kind of before... Again, this is kind of a pre-release. Like, I mean, yes, it is available on Spotify, but again, this is kind of like the early Quincy Kane stuff. It wasn't really when I was, being a solo artist or anything like that. But anyway, 1 second. So anyway, this one goes out to you, Stan. This is Ascension. Oh, yeah. Again, that one's called Ascension. That was requested by Stan. Actually, Silas and Stan. So, Silas, if you're watching the replay, hope you enjoyed the song. Stan, I hope you enjoyed it as well. All right, let's get caught up with the chat. And we'll see. We might have time for one more, or we might go ahead and put a wrap on this so I can get home and get me some Halloween candy. All right. Squealies, that's right. I love a good squealie. They're very satisfying when you can pull them off. All right, let's get caught up here. Your 200th stream will be on December 4th then. I guess that is the case. Yeah, kind of crazy. Coming up on the big 200. 200. Thank you for the star emojis, Becky. Much appreciated. Thank you for the fire, Stan, Becky. Actually sounds so great with the rain on the outside. Wait, with the sound of the rain on the outside. Yeah. Yeah, it kind of works as like a nice soundtrack song, you know, since it's an instrumental. So if you got some rain in the background, kind of some ambience, and yeah, it might work with that. Awesome. Thank you, Stan. Much appreciated. Thank you for brightening up a dull and rainy Halloween. For what it's worth, I feel like a rainy Halloween kind of can add to the atmosphere, so it's not too bad. You know, you just got to put you on some goosebumps now, get you some popcorn, and you've got a good atmosphere, good setup for enjoying a good Halloween. But I'm glad you enjoyed the stream. Thank you, Becky. Thank you for the applause. Much appreciated. All right, good stuff. Well, I do think that is gonna be it. But I appreciate you all hanging in. Let's see here. And yeah, Becky was saying, saw some little kids out trick-or-treating earlier, but couldn't tell what they were dressed as because of the big raincoats they were wearing. Yeah, that's too bad. That's the only thing that stinks. I do feel sorry for the kids that are trying to trick-or-treat and it's raining. And so they can't even show off their costume because they got to wear a raincoat over it. But they might not think that deeply about it, and I'm sure they'll still be just as happy. The candy still tastes the same, so they'll probably enjoy that part. Actually, didn't see many folks out here wearing Halloween costumes. Yeah, it's kind of fun. Like, I don't know. I mean, Halloween might be. I'd have to look up the origins of it. I feel like it probably is traditionally a European holiday. I'm not for sure. But it is one of those holidays. I do wonder, like, how many people in the world celebrate Halloween and how many don't. Maybe it is really big in Scotland. I don't know. Yeah, Daniel's saying not seeing too many folks, but I guess it depends on what part of Scotland you're in, too. Like, I don't even know, like, are you in, like, kind of a town part? Like, are you somewhere where there's a lot of people mingling outside your window? Or somewhere a little more, I don't know, you know, less congested with people. And maybe a lot of visitors where you're at, yeah. Scotland, Ireland, I think, or Mexico. I know Mexico's got, what is it? What day? It's Day of the Dead. Cinco de Mayo, I think, is Day of the Dead. So that's in May. But, yeah, not sure. Could be. All right. Well, hey, everyone. I hope you all enjoyed the stream. I hope you all appreciated that. Again, if you'd like to get some more music, I've got a link there that I just posted. It's also pinned at the top. I've got music on Spotify, and through that link, there are ways to download my music. You can download it for free from Bandcamp, or if you'd like to show a little bit of support, you can pay for the song whatever price you'd like. If you'd like to show some support to me so I can keep doing this, there's a merch store available, as well as a tip jar if you'd like to provide something. I do appreciate that. And then if you want to stay up to date, again, I got a new song coming very soon, and you want to know whenever I do these streams, and you want to be in the know whenever I'm releasing songs and such, be sure to click the link for signing up for my email list. That way you can stay up to date with everything that happens. Daniel was saying there are quite a lot. I'm like 15 minutes from Edinburgh. Okay, I got you. So there are quite a lot of people. Enjoy the rest of your Halloween, everyone. It's already November here. Yeah, I guess it is. Yeah, in the time zone. And I guess that goes for you too, Daniel. Yeah, because it was 11 when you first tuned in. So it's November for you guys. Yep, I'll be behind y'all in a few hours here. So awesome. Well, guys, thank you for hanging out. I hope you all have a happy Halloween. I hope you have a wonderful evening, morning, afternoon, night, whatever time it is, wherever you are in the world. Until next time.